and welcome to my channel. So if you are new here, thank you for stopping by. My name is Sarah and I'm a homeschooling mom to two girls ages 13 and 10. They are in the 8th grade and the 5th grade. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate that you subscribed and you are spending part of your day with me. So let's just get right into it. I want to do a homeschool update today. We are done with quarter one. I can't believe how fast quarter one went. I feel like every year, every new homeschool year just keeps on going faster and faster and faster. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done homeschooling. Let's just say that. But I wanted to give you some updates on what's been working, what's not working, and things that are just kind of like meh. First thing is, I'm not feeling like we're doing fantastic. Usually we start out the year and everything is like fireworks and bells and whistles everywhere and everything's just fantastic and wonderful and beautiful. That's not how this year started out. This year has been bumpy. This year is probably one of the hardest years that we had for at least the beginning of a homeschool year, except for maybe the first 2 years of homeschooling. I have been homeschooling. This is my 9th year. And so it's just been a rough one. I don't want to say it's been a fail because it definitely has not been. I could definitely see a lot of growth in both of my girls. And I just kind of wanted to talk about as well that we've had a lot of hiccups that just keep on coming up in our homeschool day. We have been having issues with one of our pets. He's been in and out of the vet, back and forth. We still don't know the outcome on what's going to happen to him. So it's devastating to us to learn something like that about a beloved pet. It happens to be my daughter's bearded dragon, Indy. He looks like he's getting better. He's been on antibiotics for almost 2 weeks, but those appointments and that time and the extra time we're taking with him has been getting pulled from our homeschool day. And I'm not saying that that's not worth it because, I mean, we love him. We want him to get better, but it is taking time. I'm literally making disgusting collard green worm smoothies for this pet, so with roaches in them. And roaches was the one thing I said I would never bring into my house for any pet, and guess what? I did because I love him that much. So we're just really hoping that he pulls through, but that's been kind of getting in the way. I don't want to say in the way, but it's been taking up chunks of our homeschool. Another thing that we've been having issues with is I have a really decent laptop, okay? And for some reason, it just didn't want to work. So I went out and I took that one to go get repaired, and it got shipped out for weeks. And then I bought another laptop, and I thought it'll be good backup for if this ever happens again, and I'll just give it to my kids. Well, now that new laptop I just purchased has issues. So we haven't been able to get on the internet very well. I've been having to use my phone for almost everything. And so it's just been stressful. But when it comes to actual curriculum, I want to go over that as well. So for my 13-year-old who's in the 8th grade, her name is Bella. And I have notes. So if you see me looking down, I'm reading my notes. I want to go over some of the things that worked for her and some of the things that didn't. Because there was some stuff that we took off of like our checklist, I guess you can say, that we just decided not to do anymore because it was more of a struggle, more of a problem in our homeschool, and we weren't really getting much out of it. So for Bella, one of the things that's working for her, it doesn't surprise me, is the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts Level 7 course. She's always wanted to keep doing the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts. She really enjoys this curriculum. She does say that some of the stories that you read are boring. She's just not really into the stories, but she gets through them and enjoys the book work on this. So this is a win. She will continue to do this. Now there is no, I think it's like book studies after level 7. She is almost done with this. So she only has maybe a couple more weeks left in this book. This was left over from last year. And so after this, she'll move into the level 8 book studies, and we'll see how she likes that. But so far, this has been a win. Now, when it comes to her math, if you have been around a little bit, you'll know that last year we switched up her math. And she was using teaching textbooks, which just was not working for her. It worked for her until she got to pre-algebra. But once she got to pre-algebra, we noticed a lot of gaps in her math. We noticed that she just wasn't understanding the concepts, and she was getting frustrated. And once there's frustration and tears in our homeschool, it really tears things down for us. So I knew I had to do something. So we switched her over to Matthew C. pre-algebra. And this is a mastery approach opposed to like a spiral approach. And she says that she loves this one. She says she loves the amount of time it takes her to do it. She loves the way that they explain it. She loves everything about this curriculum. So this has been a huge win for her. And I'm just happy to see that the tears and the frustration are now gone. Before, we were having to go back through teaching textbooks and having to redo entire lessons and having to, just correct everything every single day. And math was taking us way too long. But once we switched to this, now it's like she has to correct like one problem here and there. She's really starting to grasp the concepts much better using Matthew C. Now, for her history, Bella is using Book Shark's American History. I think it's level I. And this is for ages 13 to 15. So I do know that this is kind of a little bit more, I think it's like an 8th grade to 10th grade course. She's really enjoying this Book Shark course on American history. But she says that she just feels like it's so long and there's just so much to do. So she loves the reading part of it. She does say it's a lot of reading, but she does not enjoy doing the map work or the timeline stuff. She just says it makes it take forever. So history takes her about 45 minutes to an hour. Granted, she's not used to doing history on her own. This is the first year that she's doing history on her own. We used to do it family style, but I was trying to prep her to take on more things independently since she will be going into high school next year. So she does really enjoy this course. And I do want to say, I have noticed so much growth, so much information that she's retaining from this course, because she'll come down and talk about it. And she'll be like, oh my gosh, Mom, I can't believe this happened. Or I can't believe that that's the way they used to do things. And I mean, although it's bringing out some anger because she doesn't like a lot of what happened during American history, she's enjoying the course because she feels like she's able to get a lot more information. She just feels that it's taking her way too long. So that's the only downside. So we might kind of mess with this course a little bit. I was thinking about maybe cutting out some of the map work or the timeline or something like that. I really need to sit down and talk to her about it. But her feedback was she is enjoying this course. She just feels like all the little extra add-ons make it to be a bit much for her. But that's just for her. So it is a really great course. So that was a win. Another thing that she is taking is Book Shark Science Level G. And this is for ages 11 through 13. So she's like right there on that like cusp because she's 13. But this is the chemistry, physics, and biology course. She is really, really loving this course. So she said that she likes the amount of time it takes her. It's not too long. It's not too short. She likes the information that she's reading. She enjoys learning about chemistry, physics, and biology. The only downside to this one, she said, is the science experiments. So she enjoys everything but the science experiments. Granted, we are only 9 weeks into the school year, so first quarter, but she says that the science experiments just seem very young or just aren't very interesting. So that's the only downside. What we did to kind of correct that, though, is I added more Mel Chemistry. It's a subscription. It's a Mel Chemistry box. So Mel Chemistry will send her 2 experiments, in a box every month, and she does those science experiments on top of these. So she really enjoys the Mel Chemistry subscription. We actually stopped her. She used to get KiwiCo boxes. We've actually completely stopped Bella's KiwiCo boxes to just get more Mel Chemistry boxes. She really, really enjoys those. She says that they feel more age appropriate. She doesn't feel like she's doing something that's for a real young child. So she's really enjoying this course with Mel Chemistry. So this has been a huge win. And also I've learned a few things from this course as well that I didn't know. although I'm not that involved in this, Bella and I talk about it a lot. So we'll go over and just ask questions with each other and talk about what she's learned and things like that. And it's been a really good fit for her. So the next thing she was doing for an elective is the Stargazer's Guide to the Night Sky. Now this is through Master Books. She is really enjoying it. She says that she really likes it. She does this one 2 to 3 days a week, and it has a lot of information in here, and she's really enjoying the lessons. She does say sometimes she gets a little confused with what they're trying to explain to her, but she'll just ask her Dot, and it kind of helps her out there. So, or if she's not understanding something, she'll ask me, or she will just reread the information again, and then she's starting to grasp it. She does say that she's really enjoying this. She says she loves the topic, just everything about learning about the night sky. And this has been a win as well. She doesn't feel like it's too much either. She says it doesn't take her very long. It's a little bit of reading each day and that's it. And sometimes if she feels the reading's too long, she will cut that reading in half, like do half of it one day and half of it another day. She's only had to do that like one time though. So she just feels like it's good bite-sized pieces and it fits really well into her day. Now, the last 2 things for her, or I guess I should say 3, but this, we wanted to focus on growth mindset for Bella this year. Our main focus is kind of mental health this year. We always choose some kind of focus, whether it's nutrition or whatever. This year, it is mental health. So for Bella, we chose the Girl's Guide to Growth Mindset. So with this one, she loves it. She says she enjoys doing this one. She looks forward to doing this. She reads information about growth mindset, about the brain. And then sometimes she does just a little bit of journaling with it, and she is loving it. She says that this is one of her favorite things that she's doing this year, and she looks forward to opening this book and reading it. She loves the topics and how they approach everything. So this, I was surprised. When I was talking to her about how she felt about her school year so far, when she said that this was one of her favorite things, I was not expecting that. This was just meant to be like a 5 to 10 minute thing she does in the morning just to get her going. It was never meant, it was never meant to be as much as I don't even know how to explain it. Like she's loving it. And I'm really glad that something so positive is something that she's enjoying this year. So huge win on this. Now for her Chef Academy, she wants to be a baker when she's older, which I love. I love the fact that she wants to own her own bakery. I decided that we were going to focus every Friday on her just reading a little bit out of the Chef Academy book, and then in one of her recipe books, finding a recipe, cooking it, baking it, whatever, and just get some more hands-on experience with cooking and baking. Well, now, what she said about this book, she does this every Friday. She says that she likes it, but it is very basic and very beginner. What she's done so far. Again, we're only 9 weeks in, but she says it's super basic, great for like beginners. And although she feels that way, she does say that she wants to continue it because there are bits of information in this book that she feels she didn't know and that she likes. The one thing she did say is that in this book, she didn't notice, and I didn't notice either, any recipes. She says that she wishes that there was recipes that went along with the topics that they were learning in this book. And that way we didn't have to pull our own recipes in. But she is liking this book. It's just very beginner and basic. So a lot of this is like a refresher for her. So I'm glad we only have this on Friday. So that's working for her. Another thing that Bella does is piano. She uses Hoffman Academy piano. And I mean, from what I hear, when I hear her play, I feel like it's going fantastic. She also told me she is still enjoying it, but she's also reaching out more to try and learn music on her own. So right now she has been trying to learn how to play Moonlight Sonata, and she has like the first section of it pretty good, or she's doing pretty good with that first section, and she's just continuing to practice on things like that. So Hoffman piano also worked. Let me make sure I got everything on here. Yeah, we talked about the Alchemistry, Book Shark. Okay, yeah. So Bella, still does French using Duolingo. It's an app. So she still does that like every day. And then she also does her own planning for school now. So she does have just a plain notebook that she plans out her lessons every week and she does on her own. I no longer do that for her. And she's been liking that a lot because that gives her the freedom and the opportunity to make her own call. So if she doesn't want to, like I tell her, I don't care what days she does school, other than like morning time with us, as long as the work for the week is done. So I put that in her hand. She's old enough to handle that now. And she is responsible enough to handle that now. So giving her that freedom, it's really kind of opened her eyes to where if she doesn't do language arts, she realizes I still have to make up for that lesson sometime before the next week starts. So it's really good at teaching her responsibility, and we've been enjoying that, and it's less for me to have to do. So I feel like Bella's homeschool, her experience this year has been going really well, and she's been learning a lot. I've been noticing that we've had a lot of great conversation about a lot of her independent work. So what I just shared with you was her independent work. I want to share Lydia's work, and I'm also going to share about what we've done together that worked and what didn't work. So let's go into Lydia. So for Lydia, she is using language arts and literature level 4 through the Good and the Beautiful. This one I was really nervous about at first. I wasn't sure if this was going to work out for her. Lydia has she has some more challenges when it came to reading, when it comes to writing and things like that. And now that I feel, let me just say, okay, wait, I got to tell you this. So Lydia for years has been struggling with reading. And she's been doing an amazing job with practicing, with trying to learn these concepts and trying to just learn these spelling rules and patterns. But things just weren't quite clicking for her. And it's been since probably first grade. She's in the 5th grade now. Well, I had her speak to an advisor and get a reading test done through a charter school. And this year, she actually tested at end of 5th grade. So every year when we've had her tested, because she's been having some problems with reading, she always tested 2 grade levels behind. Well, behind, you know, I don't really behind, you know. So, because in homeschool, you know, they're going to learn as they learn. But I always wanted to have her tested to grow off of. What do we need to look at? What are good books for this, you know, level that she's reading at? But when I had her tested last year, she tested at 3rd grade. When I had her tested in September of this year, so just a couple weeks ago, she tested at the end of 5th grade. So now I'm super excited that something inside of her just clicked. I think it had a lot to do with the books that we were choosing. I allowed her free range of what she wanted to read instead of trying to force, you know, the classic books on her or books that she may not be that interested in. I just really let her choose what she wanted to read. She reads a lot of graphic novels and comics. And finally, her reading just leveled out. Like we did it. Like we did it. All of the, you know, the stressful parts of that experience for us over the years really paid off by just continuing to try. And so I'm just really excited about that. But sorry, I got sidetracked. But anyway, language arts, level 4 through the Good and the Beautiful has been working really great for her. The spelling and writing part is a little challenging for her, but she is grasping the concepts and she's really putting forth a lot of effort, and that's made a huge difference. So I was really worried about this one, thinking that she wouldn't like it, but she does. The only thing she says is that when it comes to this course, she doesn't like the stories. She doesn't like the stories that come with this course, but because they're intertwined with the lessons, we kind of just get through them, and then she looks forward to doing this, you know, coursework. So it's working for her. She likes it. She just doesn't care for the stories that are in it. Now, for math. Again, if you have watched some of my other videos, you'll notice that Lydia stopped doing a certain math curriculum in the middle of last year, and we switched to the Good and the Beautiful Math 4. She loves it. She just finished a Math 4 up, and she's going to be starting Math 5 actually in like a week. Because we're on break right now, but she is going to be starting the Good and the Beautiful, or Simply Good and Beautiful Math 5, and I don't see this as being a problem. She really enjoyed the 4th book. It looks, you know, it's pretty much the exact same as, you know, 4, only with different concepts. So she's liking it. We're going to keep on going. That's a huge win for us. She's a math kid, though. Like, she enjoys math, so I didn't think it would be a huge problem. When she was doing the old curriculum, which was teaching textbooks last year, she hated it. And I knew that there was a problem when she didn't want to do math because she loves math. So when we switched her, it just all came together and worked out. So now for her history, where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. So for her history, we started the year using Around California with Children's Book, A History of the Golden State. I don't even know where to begin with this. Well, I guess you could kind of tell it didn't work out. This was not a bad curriculum. It just did not fit her style. It did not fit the way that she wanted to learn. We thought, both Lydia and I thought she was going to love this because it is literature based. It did not work that way for us. It did have like video recommendations, extra book recommendations. It came with notebooking and journaling and things like that, and recipes and nature connections, and it came with all of that. I personally didn't like the setup for the teacher. I didn't like the lesson guide, the way it was set up. I like to be, if I'm going to purchase a teacher guide, I want to be told what to do. And I then have the option to not do it that day. I like it more broken down, and instead of just saying, while you're doing this unit, you know, you might want to do this or do that. No, I want something more structured for me. And then I could just skip it if I want to. But with Lydia, she didn't like just sitting down and reading from a book and then that was it, and then journaling. It just wasn't for her. For one, she doesn't like journaling. So, you know, no surprise there. But I thought with just reading these books and these stories that she would enjoy it, and she didn't. So we actually stopped this. We got through prehistoric, I think the prehistoric time, and we got through almost all, so no, it wasn't prehistoric, it was the Ice Age. Yeah, we got through the Ice Age unit, and we got through almost all of the California Indians unit before we just stopped. Basically, after we read Island of the Blue Dolphins, which is an amazing book, we stopped this course. It was just not for us. I don't want to talk bad about it, though, just because it didn't work for us, because overall, it is a pretty amazing curriculum. Like, if you go through this, it has so much information for you to use. I just didn't care for the setup. I like more of a day-to-day setup. And this one just wasn't for me, and it wasn't for her, and so we just stopped. So what we went back to is the Good and the Beautiful history. So we already did histories year 1 through 4 with both of my girls, family style. We finished up history year 4 last year, and I had no intentions of going back to this once I found this. But when that didn't work, I was like, what can I do? And I asked her, I said, Lydia, what do you feel you want out of history? And she said, I want to go back to what we did last year. So here it is. When we did year 1, Lydia was in the 1st grade. So I do feel like she's getting a lot of these concepts as a refresher. Like, she doesn't remember a lot from 1st grade, I guess you can say, with history. She only held on to like a few pieces. But what I did was, instead of reading the same books, I chose different books to read with this history. And I'm also using a lot more of the who was, where was books that I have up here to add into this. Right now we're in ancient Egypt, and she's loving it. She's loving doing the recipes that I'm adding in. She's loving doing the crafts and activities, the books that we're reading. She loved learning about the 7 ancient wonders of the world. She really, really likes that, and she told me that she wants to stick with this. I did have some doubts about doing this curriculum again because we had already done it, and I usually don't like to repeat things, at least not the same things. So I was talking to my husband about it, and he said, but if it works for her, can't we just add in things? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, why can't I do that? So that's what we're doing. We are redoing this course. And again, it's been 4 years or 4 years since she's done this one. So it's working, and she likes it, and that's what matters to me. So now for science, I kind of pulled together a whole like vet unit study, and we use this as the spine. This is through the eyes of a veterinarian, and this is through Campfire curriculum. Now, although I'm loving this style for her, for Lydia, I don't feel that this would have worked if I was doing it family style with my older daughter. And not that it wouldn't have worked, like she wouldn't have gotten the information. I just don't know if my older daughter would like the approach of this one. This is done, the lessons are done by telling you a story. So you're reading a story about a vet and these kids that are going to, you know, these locations to see sick animals or to help these animals and things like that. And although my youngest daughter is really enjoying it, my older daughter she wouldn't have cared for this. Even when she was sitting in with us a little bit, because she does her own science, sometimes she'll sit in just to like listen, and she gets sidetracked. So this is working fantastic for my youngest daughter, and we're actually just wrapping up with this and our vet unit study, and she's enjoyed it. I do want to say that I love how this curriculum comes with what they call core connections. And in the back, for each lesson, they give you ways to pull in math, history, geography, and social studies. They give you an area to help you pull in language arts and spelling that all have to do with vet science. So I like this one, and the approach of this type of learning is great for my youngest daughter. So I probably will try another one of their unit studies. We love unit studies, but this is going great. We are almost done. I think we have like 2 lessons left, so that's like, you know, nothing for us, but it went really well. Now for the rest of the unit study that I pulled together, all the books, we got through pretty much everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything. No, we got through everything. We are still reading a little bit of the animal poetry, and if you're not familiar what I'm talking about, I do have a video on this unit study that I could link. But we're still reading some of the animal poetry with this unit from the book I picked out. And then what else were we reading? Oh, we were just reading like about heroic animals and stuff like that still. But other than that, we're pretty much done with the unit. And now I need to prep our next unit, which might be paleontology. I'm thinking that's where I'm going to go. But now when it comes to the rest of her stuff, she wanted to do the 9-note recorder method to learn how to play the recorder. This is working really well for her. I find her just picking this up and practicing on her own. So it's going really well. She does this, usually she only does about a lesson a week, but she'll pick up this book quite a few times during the week and just practice on her own, which is kind of what I wanted her to do. But she just chose to do it on her own. So this is working out really well. She enjoys it, and it's like a perfect amount of lesson for her. Now, when it comes to typing 1, guess how many lessons we've done? 0. Big goose egg. We have done 0 lessons out of this book. I don't even know how many years we have been trying to do typing 1 with her. I don't mean to laugh about it because it is a failure on my part, but I just feel like her needing to grasp writing and reading and those concepts are far more important to me than typing right now. I do feel like typing is a skill that she can learn in middle school, and there's no problem with that. It's just, it's not a priority, and I didn't make it a priority, and that was the problem. That's all I can really say. There's nothing wrong with this course. My oldest daughter went through all 3 of the typing courses, loved them, got them done, and just types beautifully now. My youngest daughter, no. We are struggling to even get through 1 lesson. But there's nothing wrong with this course. I didn't make it a priority. Now, the last thing that she was doing independently is her anxiety relief book for kids, Activities to Understand and Overcome Worry, Fear, and Stress. Now, this book, she likes it but doesn't like it. I like it because it's having her look at some of these struggles through the eyes of somebody else too. Like they'll be like, well, what do you think he might be worried about or whatever, like this little, character in the book. But it does get her thinking. It does get her talking. Now, when we do these lessons, it is like a workbook style where you would write in here. I don't make her do the writing. I let her give me her feelings, her emotions, her thoughts, and I will write those down and we'll go over it. I feel like this has been great for just starting conversation. But again, it's nothing, it's just kind of like that 5 to 10 minutes that we take doing this book every Friday. We only do this on Fridays. And it's just enough, you know, it's enough to get that conversation going. Now, when it comes to Lydia's subscriptions, she is still getting the 2 Kiwi boxes. She gets the Kiwi crate and the Atlas crate. She's still loving those. Those are still working amazing for her. I'm trying to see what else I have. Yeah, that's great. So now let's talk about some of their together stuff. Morning Basket has been a huge success when it comes to theming them. So every month I do a different theme. I will link some of them if you want to see them in the description box, some of those videos, but they are loving the themed baskets. Last year we did not do themed baskets. We just, you know, did certain things in the morning, and they're loving this so much more. So right now we are just wrapping up our Middle Ages themed basket, and that medieval basket has been extremely successful. They have loved it. It's actually something they look forward to in the morning to just, you know, we do a reader from the Middle Ages or that's themed through the Middle Ages, and we read about, you know, what life was like, and we watch movies and documentaries and things like that. And they've really enjoyed that style of morning basket. So that was a huge win for us. Also booking a movie. So for our read out louds in the morning, it's like right before morning basket, we do a read out loud or audiobook, and we decided to do book and a movie. So we will choose a book that has a movie as well, and that's what we'll read. I picked 14 books for our book and a movie for the entire year. We have read 7 of them. We are on our 7th book so far. So it has been a huge success. I'm probably obviously gonna have to choose some more books for this year, and I will share those with you when I come across, you know, doing that, whenever that will be. But so yeah, book and a movie has been a huge success. And also we have I mentioned in my subscriptions video for this year that we have Follow, which is that little bracelet that you buy and you get to track an animal through an app. Well, my aunt got us the lion, so there's the update there. We do have the lion bracelet with following the lion now, so my kids are enjoying being able to watch the lion, you know, roaming all over. So that's been a lot of fun as well. Also, I updated our Writings from the Wild subscription. So they have like a basics Writings from the Wild where you get the letter from an animal or about an animal, and then their little card with the information on it. That's the one that we had. Well, apparently they just came out with like a premium edition where you get like the letter and a bookmark and like some more stuff with it. So I did update that. I'm not 100% sure exactly everything you get, but it looks amazing and they still look beautiful. And we haven't gotten our first premium one yet because I literally just updated it like 2 days ago. So that's something I'm really looking forward to in our homeschool. And then also our well-being. Did I bring that up here? Our well-being. Okay, so this is through Studies Weekly. I'm loving this. I do not do the full curriculum. We just do the little weekly pamphlet every Friday. I am loving the conversations that we are having. So this is about like growth mindset and different types of emotion and things like that. So far, I'm trying to see. So far we've done what is well-being. We've done what is empathy, what is resilience, what is growth mindset. I know we did another one, but I don't know where I put it. Where'd I put it? Oh, we did identifying emotions. This course through Studies Weekly, although I'm not using it in its full, you know, the way it's intended, I'm loving these little things just to add in on Fridays. They have been so amazing. I just like the conversations that we're having. You know, when my kids are learning something positive and about how to try and think positively and have that growth mindset, it's just such a win when you hear them ask the questions about it and, you know, dive deeper into something that I would have never thought to teach them before I started to really, you know, look at, I mean, it took me probably 3 years to do something like this in our homeschool. And I'm really enjoying it, and my kids are enjoying it, and it takes us literally 5 to 10 minutes, if that, and then we go into some conversation. So it's been a huge success. Now, I also wanted to say in our morning basket, we do riddles, because this is part of our morning basket on Fridays, but we're still enjoying the riddles. There's not much I can say here. They're fun. They're silly. We do it every morning. They love it. Now, I did want to mention, we did in August, safety and survival for our morning basket theme. And we used The Good and the Beautiful as our spine, their safety unit. And then I added in a survival book as well. This book really did an amazing job with showing me where I was lacking when it came to safety, even in my own home. So I actually created a video where I updated our 72-hour kits and some of the emergency supplies like smoke detectors and things like that in our house. And that all came from us doing this unit in August. I just couldn't believe how I just let some of the things go and just didn't, and it wasn't that I let it go, it's just I didn't think about it. Like, it was something that, okay, we have it, I didn't know, but I didn't update them. So if you're interested in that video, I'll try and link that one as well. But this one did open my eyes. My kids enjoyed it, and they just had a lot of fun with it. But it really was a lesson for me too, and I'm really glad we chose to do this, because it made me look at my house and make it safer for certain situations that we weren't prepared for. So again, morning basket has been great, and this was, you know, a morning basket theme, so obviously this was done in morning basket. But I also wanted to just, gosh, I am rambling. This video is going to be so long, I'm sorry. I did want to talk about art. So we've been using 13 art movements children should know. We've just been doing like one little style or movement of art every month, and my kids have been liking it. We're just doing bite-sized pieces of art every Friday. We'll read about a style of art and just study some pictures from that time, and that's it. Occasionally, we will study an artist from that time frame or that style, just to kind of give it a little bit more meat. But this has been working just fine. I didn't want to focus too much on art and music because we have such a different homeschool this year. My daughter, like I was saying earlier, she never did history or science on her own until this year. So I really didn't want to bombard her with more and more and more. So bite-sized pieces of this, and it's working amazing. And the same with A Child's Introduction to the Orchestra. Same thing as art, bite-sized pieces. We'll add in a little bit of a composer study. We listen to the music throughout the month, and that's it. And it works. Now, some of the things, as you can see, are not here. If you have watched some of my morning basket videos, you'll know that we used to do French in our morning basket. You would know that we used to do what's called Know Yourself, which I forgot to grab. Let me grab it. I have one right here. There we go. I guess it's a good thing I didn't get dressed just from the waist up like I usually do. Usually I'm in like bike shorts. I'm glad I put on real pants today since I had to stand up. But anyway, so we stopped doing French. We were using, I can't remember. First Start French. We stopped that almost immediately. Did not work out for us. I didn't like it. They didn't like it. It was just not for us. Although the program did look thorough, it just wasn't a style that we could get comfortable with, I guess you can say. Like, we just didn't care for it. We also tried, I think it was like DK's 15-minute French or something like that. We stopped that as well. Although we liked that one better, we found that the way that we were trying to use it wasn't working. We were trying to use it more in a group setting, and it wasn't really working for us, so we just stopped it. And my daughter, my oldest daughter Bella, who's in 8th grade, she is still doing Duolingo until we find something else. I don't know how much I want to press for it at this point, but my younger daughter is interested in learning French. We just can't find anything that she really likes. I mean, if they wanted to learn Spanish, there's so many different resources out there. I feel like there's just not as many for French. But yeah, so we just kind of stopped doing French. And then the Know Yourself books that I mentioned, these books, although they look like a lot of fun, and I like the concept that these bring, like how you're learning about a system of the body and then a country, I love that. And there's recipes and worksheets and activities, and it's like a comic story at the front. It was great. But my kids, I asked my kids, you know, how they felt about it. And my kids said, we don't really care to do it anymore. Like, they just felt like it was busy work, and that's not something that I'm comfortable with bringing to my homeschool. I'm not saying that that's not a good fit for another family, but I think if I would have done this when my kids were younger, this would have been phenomenal for them. But because my kids are a little older now, this just, it just wasn't working. My 5th grader liked the idea, but she is way more hands-on than just reading the comic and then doing, she's not a worksheet kid. She doesn't like to do worksheets. So I like the concept. I like the way that it's set up. I think that they're really great, but I wish I would have found this when my kids were just starting school. So it wasn't a win for us. But again, I don't want to talk bad about it because I think it's a really good idea, and I like it. But I wish I would have found it when my kids were younger. So we did stop doing this as well. And then another thing that we stopped is Yellow Spot Sun. I don't want to say we stopped it, but we tried to do some Yellow Spot Sun, and I don't know if it was just we were too much in the hustle and bustle of trying to find a good routine and schedule that it kind of just fell to the side. Yellow Spot Sun is really, really amazing, actually. If you look into that, it is like a online art program where there's like videos and ideas, and they teach you things, and there's like a workbook, and I mean, there's just so many things that they have to offer, and it truly is amazing. But it just didn't sit right in our homeschool this year. I think that we're just too busy. My kids also kind of have a little bit of a problem trying to be taught how to do art. Like, they like freestyle. Like, you just give them some supplies and they want to create their art the way that they want to create it. They don't want to sit there and learn the techniques. So I think that that was part of it as well. But again, I don't want to talk anything bad about Yellow Spot Sun because it truly was amazing. You can see the heart and dedication inside that curriculum. So yeah, it just didn't work out for us so far. I am going to try it again later on in the year. Sorry about that, my battery died. I know this video takes forever. So the last thing I wanted to mention before I finish up this video is that there were a couple of books that we had intended on reading that just didn't work out for us. Now, the first one was Beowulf. We didn't even get a chance to start this. We had so many books on that in that morning basket. This was in our medieval morning basket. We just didn't get to it, and I was really looking forward to it. So I'm not too upset though, because I do plan on doing some kind of Viking morning basket later in the year, so I could just throw this in there and it'll work out. But I wanted to mention it because I don't want you to think that everything just works out fine for me and that I get to everything and that everything's wonderful. No, we didn't get to this. We didn't have time. We didn't make it. Now this one, Crispin, the Cross of Lead, we read 11 chapters of this and we could not get into it. I didn't get to hear the full 11 chapters, so I can't give a real good opinion on it because I was doing other things, but my kids just were not enjoying this. So we were reading this during our medieval morning basket. Did not work out for them. They wanted to stop, so we stopped. Again, I can't really say if it was good or bad because I wasn't there the whole time, but my kids read 11 chapters and they wanted to stop. So we threw this one out. And then the last one we didn't get to is called Castle. Now, again, we didn't even try and start this one because we just didn't have time. So I just said we're going to skip it, or, maybe we'll go back over it later, but they're more than welcome to read this on their own if they want, more information on this, but we just didn't get to it. So I didn't even start it. So those were the only books though that we didn't get to. We actually read a lot more than I thought we were going to. And that is pretty much the update. So just keep in mind, if you are a seasoned homeschooler, you know what it's like for every year to be different and for there to be success and failures in every year. And if you're a new homeschooler, just remember that you will find a great routine or you'll find a great curriculum and things change, and that's okay. So it's okay when things don't work out. Just keep on going. So that is pretty much everything that I wanted to share with you today about the update. It was a win. I mean, there was a little bit of failures in here, but it was overall a win, and we are having a great year. It's just been a struggling year between the vet visits and the laptop and just everything, you know, life, you know, coming up. So thank you so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comments. Let me know how your year is going. I'd love to hear about your homeschool. And I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.